Yo, buddy, you wanna come run it?
Yeah.
My boy, you lean.
I've been working on it. I appreciate it.
Yeah? You been cutting?
Huh?
You been cutting?
I've been trying to. It's not easy, but I'm like naturally kind of a tubby kid. So
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. All right, you can just sit right here. You know how to play, bro?
I'm familiar.
All right, so we got level 1, icebreakers.
Yeah. You want to go first? I go first.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right.
I go first?
I think that means I go first, technically.
Oh, so I'll read one to you.
Yeah.
Okay. What's been the highlight of your day?
To be honest, bro, seeing you.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I thought it was sick, bro. It was so random.
Yeah, it was random. It was pretty nice to run into you. I was like totally locked in. The earbuds, I was like,
yeah, I know. I literally held your shoulder. Bro.
Yeah.
I said.
It was a good surprise. It's always good to see you guys.
Yeah. What about you?
Highlight of my day? I've been having a hard time waking up early, and I woke up like on my own today, no alarm, went to the gym, and then I had breakfast with my brother. That was cool.
What time to wake up?
All right. It's not that impressive, but like 9:30 is like,
not bad.
that's a reasonable time.
Good for college guy, you know?
I know, I appreciate it. I mean, last year I was waking up at like 12 p.m. I was like, yeah, that's not good.
He's waking up earlier than everybody on campus, you know?
Yeah, I was logged in.
Solid. All right, last one to you. What's an experience you're looking forward to?
Tomorrow I have a meeting with a modeling agency. I'm really excited about it.
Tell me more about that.
So I used to do theater, and I did theater here, and it was like, I don't know, too much time commitment. So I was trying to look into like something else that I can kind of break into and try something new. And one of my friends suggested modeling, and there's like this magazine called Strike here, and I got into that. And a couple of my friends are signed to this agency, and so I followed them on Instagram, and then kind of this and that happened. I ended up DMing with them, and I had a Zoom meeting, and then they invited me to come down to Miami and have an in-person meeting, and that's tomorrow. And nothing's happened yet, but it's exciting for me because it's like, a step closer to doing something new.
Yeah, that is tough.
Yeah.
I remember we used to talk about when you were in theater. Like that's what we last.
Yeah.
I'm curious though. What did they say the reason they wanted to actually meet you in person was?
It was a little like so they DM'd me and asked for my digitals, like the headshots and stuff. And then they had a Zoom meeting with me, and they didn't talk anything about modeling. They were just like getting to know me as a person. And then I guess they just kind of liked talking to me, and they were like, we'd love to get to know you more and like take some in-person like headshots and like test shoots. And I was like, sure, I'd love to.
That's tough.
Yeah. And so I get to go home and visit my family too, which is cool. So it's like 2 for 1.
That's exciting, bro.
Yeah. How about you? You got to answer back.
All right, I'll answer.
Yeah.
What's an experience I'm looking forward to?
Yeah.
Going back home to my girl.
Okay, there you go.
Like in Pensacola, I have an apartment, and like my girl just stays there every now and then. And I'm lucky with her all the time, pretty much when she's down at school.
Yeah.
But, like it's like the first time in 2 months that I've like been away, and like, I just miss her.
Yeah.
I just miss being around you.
That's good.
So that
Absence makes the heart grow fonder, or whatever.
I just said that this morning.
Really?
Yeah,
there you go.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, great minds think alike.
I heard another one though, or it's like another perspective. It's like the less you have something, the more you appreciate it.
Yeah.
And of course it's true. As soon as you leave someone you love, but you've had them for a while, it's like,
For sure. Yeah.
Miss.
All right. Oh, I got to pull one?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. What did you learn a little too late?
My girl taught me this. Being hospitable. Because like, ever since, 19, 20 maybe, like we lived with each other, so we're just guys. And so like, we just live like guys. We just have some, not paper plates, but we just pile dishes, house kind of dirty.
Yeah.
And like when someone comes over, you just dap them up and then you just chill. But like, since I have my girl, she's grown up being really hospitable. Like that's one thing she was taught. She goes to like Christian school, so a big thing is like being hospitable is what they teach.
Yeah.
In like culinary, it's not even about cooking, it's about like, being a good hostess. So like, she's taught me a lot about being hospitable.
Good.
Like even when my bros come in town, I don't get nothing, like usually, but she's like, oh, we should get them a blanket, some pillows. That's what we did last time, and I've never done that. So I say being hospitable is something I learned too late.
That's good.
Yeah, how about you?
I think maybe that not to put too much pressure on yourself, because there's really no pressure from anyone. Like no one cares. When I first started like exercising, and like that's the easy example. Like you go to the gym and you first get into it, you're like, oh, everyone's looking at me, and like everyone's worried about what I'm doing, and I probably look out of place. And like truthfully, like no one cares at all. Like no one's looking at you. Like everyone's kind of focused in their own world. And I don't know. I was always hyper focused about like what other people were like thinking, and it kind of affected how I would act. But now it's kind of like I just do what I want to do because it's what interests me, and I'm not too worried about whether or not it like pans out, because like it's all for me anyways. So.
what's the perspective you would show someone who doesn't yet think like that?
That's like for me, it's such an easier said than done thing. I recently had like a conversation with my brother about that because he's been, well, I don't want to air his stuff out, but you know, he's working on himself and like how to like better himself and be good for him and not the people around him necessarily. Not that like he doesn't care about the people around him, but he works very hard to please the people around him, and I'm like, you got to do stuff for you. And I can't really give him great advice because it's something that you kind of got to realize on your own, and there's not much else you can do about that. So
That's valid.
It's kind of a bummer, but you know, once you realize it and once you start practicing it, I think it really helps and improves. It improved my life. So
Yeah, I could see why he needs to go through it, because like if you had someone with knowledge and someone with experience that gave them the knowledge, who's going to hesitate first to act on it?
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be the person with only knowledge.
Yeah.
So like you can tell him all he wants, but he'll just have to experience it like you did.
yeah.
Because he'll probably follow behind you, which is kind of a good thing.
I hope. Yeah. I mean, he lives with me now, so it's really cool. So
Does he go here?
yeah, he actually just transferred, so it's nice. We live together. We like do stuff together. He's been getting into working out, and I've been trying to like, you know, help him meet new people, be more social, because you know it's tough when you first transfer to a new school. So
That is true.
I'm excited that he's here. Nice having him again.
That's a vibe. That's cool. Like it's full circle.
Yeah, for sure.
It's sick. All right. When do you find it hard to ask for help?
I find it really hard to ask for help, like generally, but especially when I know that the person that I'm asking for help, there's like, they can't do anything. You know what I mean? It's like, if I'm going through something mentally and I know it's like a personal struggle, I don't like putting that burden on someone else because there's nothing they can do about it. Like, so say I'm going through a hard time, whatever, and I need to be better about it, but I'm not gonna be like, yo mom, I'm going through a hard time because this and that, because now she's just gonna worry and there's really nothing she can do about it. Right, so now she's stressed in her life. She's like, oh, I wonder how my son's doing, and then she's gonna be hesitant to like reach out too often and like press me about it because she doesn't want to like, maybe I am having a good day and she reminds me that I'm not, you know, I had a rough time the other day, but I don't know. I just need to kind of understand that sometimes it's good to talk about things, even though like the person I'm talking to may not have like a direct solution to my problem, but sometimes just talking about it helps you internalize it more and then like, I don't know, work on it more consciously.
I've thought about that. That was another thing I've talked about with Brandon this morning. We were listening to a podcast and it was a lady and it was a hot take she had, that sometimes instead of going to a therapist about something you're going through, you should go to your friends because they have like a special relationship with you that therapists don't have. And I can relate this to like, you know, people who love you and you love.
Sure.
Because sometimes people can sense what's wrong, but when they finally know what it is, it feels better.
That's true. I don't know, it's kind of a tough thing because like in my eyes, I haven't been to a therapist, but I feel like it's going to be easier to be open with a therapist because it's like, that's what they do. You know what I mean? That's their job, that there's like no judgment. And like with your friends, it's almost tougher to be vulnerable because like these are people that you care about their opinion, right? So like it's hard to like let it go and like kind of accept that you're going through a hard time and just tell people that means something to you. It's like, I'm not okay. But with a therapist, it's like, who really cares? Like, I'm not personally connected to you. Like, your opinion of me doesn't matter in my life, but like my friend's opinion of me does matter. So
That's valid.
It's tough. But I hear where you're coming from, but I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like, I get the other
feel
side.
that. I'm playing devil's advocate again.
Yeah.
All right, so you have a friend.
Uh-huh.
Who would you rather have? Someone who you put on a show for and you don't know if they would accept you, or someone who you tell them pretty much anything you're going through and they accept you regardless?
Well, obviously the second one. Yeah.
You might as well find out.
But you shouldn't be, I mean, if you're paying for therapy and you're putting on a show, you're really,
That is insane.
You're kind of wasting your money. Like, you're like gaslighting your therapist is crazy.
Like, bro, that wasn't me.
Oh no, like you wouldn't get it. Like
Yeah,
if you just capped your therapist, there's no point in going to therapy, I guess.
That's crazy. Okay,
That'd be funny.
I see. So, I want to recap what you just said. When you find it hard to ask for help, it makes sense why you say your mom. That's a great example. You find it hard to ask for help when someone can't do anything about it, but you know they'll worry about it once they know.
Yeah, because it feels like I'm sharing my burden with them, and I don't want to like, because everyone has their own stuff that they're going through.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to do is like, if my mom's going through something, and then I pile on top of that, and now she's like stressed about her life and my life. It's like, damn, I'm not trying to do that to her. So like, if it's something that I know no one could help, I kind of just deal with it myself. And if someone can help, then I will ask for help. But a lot of the time, I just kind of keep it to me, which maybe isn't good, but.
If you guys find yourself keeping it to yourself, BetterHelp will get you right. Link in the description. I'm just playing.
If you guys are actually sponsored by BetterHelp, that would be a fire ad. Be like,
No,
speaking of.
I love that answer though. Do you want me to answer it too?
Of course, bro. This is a conversation here. I can't just be. You can't just
It's not
be
an interview,
interviewed.
bro.
Yeah, come on, man.
I bet. When I find it hard to ask for help, I know exactly what it is. Whenever I'm struggling with something that I'm known for being good at. I'm gonna come up with an example that I felt recently. Okay, I know an example. Feeling like discipline's pretty easy. I feel like I've told you this in our first conversation, but I've always been known for like my discipline. But sometimes, and recently, discipline gets harder. Like, I never thought I'd be the guy who would go to the Bible sometimes for like what, certain things, like how it resonates in like God's word.
Sure.
And like you have to remind yourself. But recently I've been having to remind myself about like discipline, things like that, because I want to be a certain type of man. And I've been noticing I have to like remind myself who I want to be more than I used to be. And so it's hard to say, like, to Cody, for example, he always sees me as disciplined, and like for something I'm not disciplined at anymore, it would be hard to even say that.
Yeah.
So that's a good example.
No, I get that. You build this rep, and you don't want to like kind of like tarnish that reputation you built for yourself. It's kind of tough. There's like that external pressure. But that's what I was talking about earlier. Is like you can't, like, I learned that too late. Like you can't tweak about that external pressure. Like it's okay to have that sometimes, and like because at the end of the day, your discipline isn't for anyone else. It's for yourself. So like if people look at you and it's like, oh, he's not that disciplined, it's like that's not your problem.
Yeah.
Like it's just to do with me. So you can't. I don't know. Try not to stress about that.
Trying to stress about it. That is true. Also, if someone finds out you do slip up on something you seem extravagantly good at, it actually feels relatable. Like,
yeah,
they're gonna be like, oh, so you're not perfect.
You're human.
In a good way.
We're all human.
Yeah.
Everyone makes mistakes. I mean, NBA players miss all kinds of crazy shots that they're supposed to be making sometimes.
That is true.
They're not out of the league.
That is true. They just do better next time.
Yeah.
All right, level 3.
Next one?
Yeah.
All right, we're getting there. If you could talk to someone from your past, who would it be, and what would you say?
I don't know. I want you to go first so I can.
Yeah, I was sitting here cooking. I think truthfully, everyone who's in my past is in my past for a reason, and I don't think I have anything to say to anyone in my past because like I've closed all the doors and tied all the loose ends that I need to, and I have closure with all the things that like of the people who are no longer in my life. Like I'm good with that. Like I'm content. So
I'm thinking of a specific someone that didn't have closure with.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good off that.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I get an update without potentially revealing who?
We tried to remain friends, and we did. And then, like, it didn't really work that great, and I saw her again. And when we were hanging out, the more we talked and the more we spent time with each other, she, like, just wasn't exactly the person that, like, my younger self was in love with. It was just, it's not the same human anymore. I mean, same human, but, like, she's changed. People change. And it just, for me, wasn't, I'm not saying she changed for the worse, but for me, it wasn't in a way that, like, I still had any of those feelings. I'm like, that's not the person I fell in love with. So it actually helped a lot because I was like, that's like my idea of her is like a memory of her, not what she actually is, and I can't like keep holding on to that because like people are changing. Yeah, there we go. I think that's it.
I think I have words to describe that to where it doesn't feel demeaning or anything. It's like you two were once sailing your own ships together, but then once you guys met again after being lost, her ship's going a different direction now.
Yeah.
So like you're just veering off in different directions that you're not in alignment.
Yeah.
That's simply probably what it was.
I mean, at the same time, like I changed too, so it's like our priorities and like our values just didn't quite align as much as they used to. And also like your first love, it's like you kind of oversee a lot of like you just like. Your tunnel vision. You're not seeing all these little things that maybe aren't the most healthy in a relationship. And to take some time to step back and then like reanalyze, it kind of helps you understand that like that perfect image of a relationship wasn't all that perfect in the first place. So I think it was great. I had a good time.
Okay. I have a final question about it. So I remember you said, I'm thinking it's the same time period, whenever you didn't see each other for a while. And then you did, and then she told you that you're back. Is that when you felt like she wasn't?
No, it was, I don't know. I don't want to air out too much.
I got you.
Because I don't mind airing my business, but I'm not going to be the one to air someone else's business. But like, it just, for the longest time, she was the type of person to prioritize others above herself, and she started working on prioritizing herself above others. And it seemed almost like it was to a point where it was almost to a selfish degree. There's a balance to it, and I'm like, I don't know, some of the things she would say and the way she would act, and we have mutual friends, just seemed like slightly like just like I'm gonna do what I want, and how it affects you doesn't really matter too much.
Okay.
And you know what? Like if that's what is good for her, that's what's good for her. But that's not what's good for me to have as a friend. So it was a lot easier to like let go of that. I'm like, that's okay.
Okay.
I'm happy for her, and I'm happy for myself that I'm moved on and doing
Turned
my own
out
thing.
it turned out seemingly how it was like supposed to. Like a literal lesson was from it.
No, it was awesome. People like look back and like regret stuff and all that, but like I would not have changed anything the way it happened, because it's like, it's part of like who I am and why I am the way I am, and I like the way I am. So
Yeah. You seem like a chill guy, decent.
yeah, I'm grateful that these lessons happen to me, and also so early in life. Like I have so much time still to learn, and I feel like I've learned a lot, and I'm only like 20, so.
You single?
I am single.
All right, let's say you were to be looking for someone. What's like the lesson from that experience that like would be prevalent when you're looking for someone again?
Well, for starters, I think it's important to not actively look, because when you're actively looking, I feel like you're gonna settle for something. Like I feel like if something's meant to be, it'll happen. So if you're like searching for something, you're probably not gonna find the right thing. But I think the biggest flaw with the first relationship I was in was we were extremely codependent, and I think it's important to have your own life and have your own friends and have your own things and hobbies, and so that way you can go out, live life, do your own thing, and then come back and reconvene and be like, hey, this is what I did today, this is what you did today, and and you can go on that journey together. And like if you're constantly doing everything together and learning stuff at the same time, you guys have no chance to like differentiate from each other, and like you kind of become like a solid unit. And I think it's important to like have time for yourself and have your own friends, as much as it is to also have time with her or him, depending on like your sexuality. For me, it's her. But I think it's good to like spend time as a group and then spend time as individuals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Individuality. That's important to you.
Super important.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
You got to answer.
The same one?
Yeah.
Wait, let me
You got
say
to
it one more
think.
time. All right.
You had time. You had time to think.
I did. I had a lot of time. But I'm an active listener, man. James 119, slow to speak, quick to listen.
Okay.
So I had an answer, but I didn't want to say it because it doesn't feel true, but it used to. So like, I don't know if I told you about. Actually, it's not an answer. It's just not. I'll generalize it. I would say like people who I felt like I never got closure from, but like you don't need the closure, because if you need the closure, you're letting them have the power.
Sure.
So I let it go.
That's good. I mean, that's like almost kind of what I said at the start, where I'm like, anyone that's in the past, like, is in the past for a reason, and then you pried more out. You got more. But
Someone over here? Oh, my bad.
but yeah, I agree with you. I'm on the same page.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet.
Next one?
Yeah, I think it's level 3 again.
Yep.
If you had one message to share with the world, what would it be? No pressure. It's only one.
Only one. It's a little generic, but like, just be a good human. It's really easy to hate, and it's really easy to be negative and see the flaws in things. And I've noticed recently that I'm like a very judgmental person, and I'm always seeing the flaws and stuff. And I've been working hard to just be kinder and be positive, because you never know whose day you're gonna make just by like saying something nice or doing something nice. And it's difficult, and it's also, you need to understand that it's not. Being nice is, I think, the harder choice. It's easy to hate, and it's easy to do all those things, but actively ignoring that feeling in your chest, it's like, oh, I don't like this and this and this and this, and trying to project positivity is hard. And I think that's why there is so much hate in the world. But if everyone was more conscious of it and worked a little harder to be positive, I think we'd just all be happier in general. And so I try to do that, and I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect, but you could always keep working.
Be a good person, period.
Just be a good person. And it's okay that it's not easy, and it's okay to fail, but as long as you keep trying, it's good.
Hey man, you said it's generic, which kind of correlates to cliche. Cliches are there for a reason. They're cliche for a reason.
Yeah.
So I like that. If I would give one, it would be live through love, not through fear. If you loved your life, what would you be doing? If you didn't have fear, what would be different? If you loved your woman, what would you do? If you didn't fear anything about her, what would you do different? That whole headspace.
Yeah.
That's been ringing a bell for me a lot.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of things in my life that fear held me back from trying and doing. And once you finally get over that, you really try something new and kind of.
Modeling?
Yeah, no, that was another thing. Like I'm still not a super confident person, and modeling is all confidence and like. You fake it till you make it, but you try something new, and I was scared of judgment or whatever, and I don't know. The people that I met were all super nice and super inviting and made me feel warm and comfortable and confident, and I was like, okay, I like this, and I'm gonna keep trying to do it, and I don't know, we'll see where it goes. Maybe you see me in some ad someday and be like, oh, I know him.
Yeah.
You never know.
You know what's cool, man? You went from being the chubby kid who got bullied. Wait, hold on. Being the chubby kid who got bullied for being overweight by his teacher
Yeah.
to being the guy who is about to go to Miami to potentially be a model.
Yeah, we'll see. We don't want to get our hopes up too much, but yeah, maybe we'll see. We don't know.
You're still going to Miami to potentially be a model.
That is true.
That's sick.
I'll keep you guys posted. We'll do another update video, and I'll let you guys know how it's going.
Yeah, who have like the most insane middle part by then for the model ages.
Yeah. Yeah. My hair is a mess right now.
I mess with it.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that kind of cuts in for real.
I appreciate it. We're doing wild card.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Text each other a paragraph. It could be about anything, but don't show each other. Press send at the same time. All right, bet.
You got my Instagram, right?
Of course.
All right. My phone is in my bag. I'll get it.
Damn, I gotta think. I gotta cook.
All right.
A paragraph?
I'm just gonna get the typing and see what's up.
Okay.
You know what's gonna be a cool Easter egg? I'm gonna show the camera like whenever you're gone.
Okay.
I feel like that'd be sick.
I think I wrote a nice paragraph. Oh, I sent
Yeah?
two. Bang.
Yeah, go ahead and send.
Yeah.
All right, not gonna look. You can't either until we're just like departed.
Oh, okay. None of us look at all.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's like, you know.
All
what I
right.
mean?
Phone off. There we go.
All right.
Boom.
All right, I gotta ask, how'd you feel? This is the second edition, by the way.
Yeah.
How'd
I
you
have
feel
the
about
first one.
Yeah.
I did order the
Sick.
first one. I liked it. I mean, they're great. I've gone through all the questions in the first one. I'm curious to see some of these other ones. I might have to place an order for round 2. I've done this with my friends though, like my friends that I'm like tight with, and sometimes we're just like randomly like midnight, we just pop open the box and start going through the questions, and it's fun. You know, even you answer the same question twice, like you don't always answer it the same way.
That's
But
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's fun to just
That's sick.
find new
How'd you
things.
feel about like just to catch up in general?
Oh, it was awesome, bro. I wasn't expecting any of this. I was going home. I was probably gonna take like a little nap before my flight, and I don't know. I got the little tap on the shoulder, and I'm like, oh boy. You know,
Bro, I hugged your shoulder with my arm. Bro. Like I literally said.
whenever I run into someone on campus, usually I don't want to talk for very long, and so that's why I walk with my earbuds in and I walk kind of quick, so that way I don't have to like get stuck in conversation. And when I got tapped on the shoulder, I was like, look, like I don't know who I'm about to talk to, and I saw you, and I was like, oh great, this is good. Like I was excited. So very few people can tap me on the shoulder in public, and I'll be like, oh, I'm happy to see you. Other people, it's like, oh, now I gotta try to weasel out a conversation.
Guy's popular around here.
No, not at all.
That's sick, bro.
All right, we're good. Oh wait, you didn't pull? I didn't pull one, or you didn't pull one. We only
do
did
the
one of
same
these.
one.
Oh, we do the
Yeah,
same one. Okay,
for the
bet.
walk
Then we're
ons.
good. Bang.
Yeah, bro.
We
I
killed
loved
it.
it. It was great talking to you.